Thanks to everyone who supported us over on Patreon. If you want additional episodes every month, you can go back us for just $1 a month over at patreon.com/boardsandswords. Watch very closely now. 3, 2, 1. Bzow! Check that out.
We want the fun. Gotta have that fun.
Is it okay if it's okay if like when the bread touches the fries?
Do I really want to just stand still and cast a lightning bolt? No, I want to avoid you and shove a lightning bolt across.
I just crapped my alien pants. By the way, I just want to let you guys know.
You hate all of us, and we're fired.
I've released poison into the AC system. You all have about 5 minutes left to live.
So much news, like all this stuff to talk about.
No, there's been some stuff, but it was all boring.
You didn't go with C.
Well, you need to go with C.
And our friends, we combined.
You've told that story.
We combined. Have I told it on the podcast?
I'm pretty sure
you
told
have.
it.
Well, I'm telling it again.
Because I just realized as I was reading this that this game's already been done. They even made a show about it. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh! And go watch it.
This is Boards and Swords.
Hey out there, everyone. Welcome to Boards and Swords. This is a podcast about all kinds of things, but primarily we talk about bad jokes, we talk about good folks, and we talk about some board games in there. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Chris Renshaw, and I'm going to throw it over to Mr. Philip Herbig.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
That's what happens when you have control of the soundboard.
That's right. I get to make my own sound effects and everything.
Some intros.
I need to put an intro song in there or something. That'd be kind of cool.
It's Mr. Philip Herbig.
What is that, like the Miss America pageant song?
I was you just did in the pre-show talking about the producers and
That's right.
springtime,
That's
so
right.
that was the tune that was stuck in my head.
Oh, you're welcome. It's what I do.
All right, we're going to get to some stuff here in a bit, but I'm going to talk about one news bit right off at the top of the show. I've been debating it for a while. But Philip's going to cut me off anyways with the news clip. I've been debating it for a while, but I'm actually I'm putting a stop to the Slack and transitioning over to Discord. Mainly because a couple of people had mentioned that they were wondering why I wasn't using Discord anyways, since we do like our recordings and stuff through Discord, and some of the other stuff, and talking about a lot of people actually use Discord and other, like there's a greater proportion of people that listen to this that probably already have Discord on their phone that have probably never even used Slack before. So,
But like the Wu-Tang accountants say, you got to diversify your bonds, son.
well, that's why we're streaming on 3 different platforms.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, but this allows, like, technically, if I wanted to, I could set it so that patrons, like the way that if using Discord, because Discord and Patreon actually work together really well. Doing this means that I could make it so that patrons could jump into our recording channel. They couldn't talk or be on video, but they could listen. So, like, when we're doing our bits at the end, when we shut the stream down, patrons would still be
there,
hearing it, and they could hear that stuff live. So that's just some of the benefits that staying with Discord. But if you're not on Discord, or you're not on our Discord, all you got to do, I set it up, boardsandswords.com/Discord. Takes you right there. If you were already a patron and had linked your patron to your Discord, because it was like as soon as I finished the integration, boop, like 4 people joined the Discord. I was like, that was Patreon automatically including people.
Yep.
But if you're on our Slack, you have 1 week from when this is airing, which is on the or not when we're broadcasting this. So this is the 25th. So that next Monday, I think it's May. I think we jump into May at that point. I think it's
We
like
do.
May 2nd.
May 2nd. It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May. That's when I'm gonna boot everybody out. And you're gonna be out one way or another. But yeah, I'd like to build up that community more and get some actual chatting on. Posting up pictures. I even made a separate. I've duplicated a lot of the channels we had going in the Slack. Like there's a specific cat pics channel.
Nice.
So All right, let's
You
get
should
it.
label it cat prawn though.
Huh?
Cat prawn.
Oh, I was in another Discord once where they called it Only Cats because like they had only fans, but it was like you could only put pictures of fans in there.
Nice. Just go to that website, big ass fans.
I saw
Those
one
things
of
are
those up.
great.
I saw one of those up close and personal.
Right? They've got like
They're
14
big
foot diameters. Hell
and
yeah.
they're big ass.
But
All right, you ready to talk about some stuff? Let's talk about some stuff. So I want to know if Gen Con had a huge hide and go seek game, would you need a ticket to hide? Days of Wonder has announced that Ticket to Ride Poland is coming to the North America market. Apparently, this existed in Poland since 2019, but now Colin and Cindy will be able to add it to their collection.
yes.
So it's an expansion for perennial bestseller Ticket to Ride. It'll be coming in September, Gen Con. So in this expansion, players vie to gain a monopoly over the routes in Poland and to other the countries. The sooner they build their international network, the higher the reward. It includes a board map of Poland, 35 destination ticket cards, 20 country cards, and 1 rules booklet. It's designed for 2 to 4 players, so that's pretty yay. So MSRP will be at $24.99. So the only chance I'll probably play this is if it comes to the app,
Yeah.
because that's where I've played. I think I've played all of the I haven't played all the expansions, but all the expansions that I've played have been through the app. I have only played board game wise, I think like the base board game, the Ticket Ride board game.
I wonder if Days of Wonder has done that with other countries.
What?
Be like, hey, here's your country specific ticket to
Oh
ride.
yeah, I was wondering
and
about
then in
that.
a few years we're gonna release it to everyone else.
I mean, probably not this big of a gap.
Okay.
Because we're talking pre-COVID to COVID,
Yeah.
like 2019. But yeah, I don't know because they've done a couple other ones. There's been like India and Switzerland and the
And then you'll get
UK.
people to start globetrotting just to get Ticket to Ride expansions.
That's you're giving Colin and Cindy ideas. They're going to start planning
am.
cruises to
I
go.
am, that's right.
They start a Ticket
If
to
you
Ride.
got-
They start a Ticket to Ride cruise.
Right? Oh, that'd be so awesome.
That's just like you just go to different areas to get their board game.
If you guys are listening to this and you stop off in Germany, bring me back a nice beer stein. That's all I'm asking.
They have like we talk about board game bars and board game cafes where that's like a thing that's been over there for years over in Germany. So I want to go. I want to see what it's like. I'd like to go to the Essen Spiel one year. Speaking of Gen Con, by the way, I had an idea. I don't know if this will happen this year. I'd like for it to. I had an idea about doing because I'd like to do some sort of live show there at some point. I've always wanted to. But we don't have the draw yet to where you could do something. But giveaways, everyone loves a good giveaway. And you can, and that's something you can promote. So I was thinking I should try and get a bunch of games to give away and do a pun off as the show.
Oh.
Where you have to give us your best pun for a specific game and genre or theme or whatever, and the person with the best pun gets the game.
Do we get the chat to vote on it?
Well, it'll be because it'll probably be live in a thing, so it will be who's in the audience.
Okay.
Or
All right,
maybe
yeah.
I'll get some guests and it'll be like a poll kind of thing. So, all right. So let's move on. Moving on. Twitter is releasing a new app where you share videos where you try to chug drinks in 6 seconds or less. It's called Wine. Because Vine.
Your jokes are bad and you should feel bad.
I always feel bad. That is not the problem. Stonemaier Games unveils Viticulture World Cooperative expansion. I put the break at the wrong part.
It happens.
Adds new components to the hit winemaking board game. So this was like Viticulture was like their first game, and it's probably other than if you take Wingspan out of the equation, it's probably one of their most popular. Like
I do hear
Wingspan,
people talk about it a lot.
yeah. Like I don't know this versus Scythe. It's probably on equal footing. I don't know. Players can extend their winemaking family from the popular core game. The goal of this expansion is to continue to balance the growth of individual vineyards with the combined effort of other players to gain influence in a particular winemaking region. The expansion includes a new game board, tiles, tokens, and event cards that allow for a new asymmetric scenario. Now, so this is an expansion.
Okay.
You do have to own the base game, even though it's it's a whole new box-looking thing. It comes with 20 Automa solo components as well, and I heard from it's not in the news article we linked, but I heard that the way that the Automa deck, which is like a solo deck, actually works so that the game plays with you you could play this solo with the game and the Automa deck as well.
Okay.
Not just because normally like an Automa deck would be like attacking or or the game playing the enemy.
Yeah.
We're definitely seeing this games take time to develop, and we're definitely seeing the past 2 years worth of people are playing solo games and people are playing people are playing more cooperative type, because it just seems like we're just starting to roll out these very COVID inspired kind of gameplay, or is that just me?
No, I'm right there with you. Yeah, 3 work. Sorry, I'm just looking at the
You're looking at the images?
I'm looking at the base game.
Ah,
Nope, you play yourself. Darn.
what do you mean?
I was hoping they would give you like little characters, and one of them's name's Paul Sutton, like Keanu Reeves. Pulled that movie reference out of my ass.
All right, moving on. I need some help finding a new bag to put my frisbees in, because when I do find one, it'll be a pretty good discovery.
Got him! Got him!
This one's just for you, Philip. Modifius
Yeah.
unveils Star Trek Discovery campaign guide. You've been talking about it in like the past 3 months worth of bonus bits, how I need to watch Discovery. But they've unveiled Star Trek Discovery campaign guide for Star Trek Adventures RPG, which will hit stores in June 2022. It allows players to add a new era of exploration to their campaigns. 228-page setting book details the events between those two dates. I'm not even going to try and 2256 and 2258 in the Star Trek timeline, as well as add 5 new playable species to the game. Features the last 3 months of the Federation Klingon War. Outlines 10 new Starfleet space frames, 11 Klingon space frame. Is space frame just like a different way of saying ship?
Yes.
So,
I would go more along of like spaceship class
right.
for a space frame.
Oh, frame is as a designation. Okay, got it. Space frames being different types of ships.
Yeah.
That's still weird. It's going to come in 2 versions, of course. Standard edition for $60 and a collector's edition for $87. Are you going to get this, Philip?
I mean, I'll check the website and see what PDFs I'm
I was
missing.
about to say, I feel like this is at a minimum a PDF thing.
Is that a minimum PDF? Yeah.
I think we've only played that one. You ran a bunch.
I ran a
Gen
bunch
Con.
to get a little bit of practice for the Gen Con where I ran 2 events.
Yeah, and then we did the Dirtbags one.
Uh-huh.
But I haven't played it since then.
I haven't either.
I mean, I'd be down.
I haven't even accessed the PDFs.
Did you ever? What did you? Did you end up getting the Borg cube?
I did not. The Borg cube was ridiculously expensive.
Okay, but you did do like some special
I
other
got
like lower tier version, right?
it was like alpha quadrant, beta quadrant, the main rule book, and like 3 other and the 3 division specialty books.
Right. Were those in hardback or PDF?
Those were all PDF versions.
Okay.
Everything except for the main rule book was PDF versions.
Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah, just get the PDF. All right. I have a problem. I have weird word association issues. For example, when I hear the words intellectual properties, IP. Nope, that is the wrong thing. I clicked.
That is the wrong tab. I see that. I would also like to let you know that don't go to your doctor and tell them that you have frequent urination.
Okay.
Also, I get nervous on airplanes.
There we go. This was such a weird statement for me because it was a weird news story because I was kind of like, well, duh. Like, you could reword this to Hasbro realizes it could use its D&D system to use for other properties.
Literally everything.
Yeah, Wizards of the Coast plans to use its Magic the Gathering and Dungeons & Dragons play systems for more IPs, the company revealed during the Hasbro Q1 conference call on Tuesday. This will expand the Universes Beyond program for the Magic the Gathering, but it's a new development for Dungeons & Dragons. So I guess the first being is like Magic's done. Like they had like the Walking Dead special edition set. It was like their secret lair boxes. I don't think they're eligible for play, but it's just like a collector's item thing.
Okay.
And then there was the D&D expansion pack that was like a full-up Magic set, but it was set in the D&D world. But and it's like we've been talking about a lot of universes beyond in Magic, which is the concept of thinking about Magic as a play system and bringing it in outside brands or outside MP into their play system. We see potential for that with D&D as well. It's like, yeah, you've got like every company,
The entire homebrew community has seen that potential already.
not even that. Like, how many RPGs have we talked about on this show for IPs using the 5e license? Like Stargate over there. There was that what is it? I can't think of the name right. Dark Souls. There was Dark Souls,
yep.
which I got apparently there's a lot of issues with that book. Beetle had posted it in our chat a little bit last time where it was like apparently there were so many rules issues that they're reissuing copies of, like fixing it and then reissuing it. Like that's how terrible it was written, that sort of thing. But it's funny because like so Hasbro owns like most of your childhood, like Transformers, G.I. Joe, My Little Pony, all of that. But yeah, they've been licensing all that to Renegade. And Renegade's been putting out RPG like a Transformers, a Power Rangers, a My Little Pony, G.I. Joe. Using
My Little Pony RPG.
If it's not out, it's coming. Like this.
I was about to,
this summer. I don't know if the full. I know they made like an adventure, and then the full up rule book I think is coming. I don't know if it's out yet.
My Little Pony role playing game core rulebook pre-order.
Yeah. So, and you know, Renegade's using their own system for this, and it's just like, guys, you had the ball and you dropped it. Like, sure, you're getting money, and I mean, they're making money regardless, but you're making fractions of what you could be making.
Ooh, it comes with a satin ribbon bookmark.
Of all the things I just mentioned, you're intrigued by the My Little Pony one.
What? Because it's like I was already aware of Power Rangers and Transformers. And,
I know.
Yeah.
I may be having
I,
some of those books
I-
may be coming to my house soon.
I was
Maybe.
gonna say one of these books may be sitting on Mike's doorstep one day.
But he didn't order it.
That's right.
That's what that seems like a Philip thing, is to order it for him.
You're like, hey, Mike.
I don't want to own this, but I am intrigued in playing it.
That's right. Oh, there's even just because they're colored. There's the My Little Pony role-playing game dice set pre-order.
That's the
Character journal.
oh my gosh, that's the thing with Renegade, is they've gotten very cookie cutter with all their things. Like every game, like here's the game, here's the dice set, here's the GM screen, character journal, etc., and then we're just gonna stamp a new license on it and then just hit print. And yet they would announce those at their little online thing, and try
They probably just
and make it exciting.
100% just leave all the scripts the same. Control find, control replace.
Yeah. Like shoot that so I think I talked about it when it was announced originally, but that G.I. Joe Mission Critical board game is basically, and they talked about it on the Renegade Con, it's just the Power Rangers Heroes of the Storm game with a G.I. Joe skin on it. I may have mentioned that during the show, because the idea, they said you could even mix them if you had them, if you had both copies.
Oh, so you could, dude, that'd be awesome. Get Snake Eyes and find a Zord form for Heroes of the Grid. Heck yeah, man.
All right, and the last one, which I already threw up here accidentally. I wanted to make a sandwich earlier, but I realized I bought the raw kind of Spelljammer. So this is a good bar to note how old you are, because if I say that they're making Spelljammer in 5e, if you've gotten really excited, you're either my age or older. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, there's a good chance you're younger than me. I know you're a special case.
I'm special.
So, Wizards of the Coast announced D&D Spelljammer Adventures in Space, a new box set which will release on August 16th, 2022. It is a campaign setting and a slipcase with 3 books, a DM screen, and a double-sided poster map. The 3 64-page hardcover books included are as follows: Astral Adventures Guide, Boo's Astral Menagerie, which is probably like
Boo's the guy's pet from Baldur's Gate, right? Yeah,
I think so. But what is it? Monster Manual. That's the word I'm trying to think of. And then Light of that word. Contains 6 new playable races for players, including the Astral Elves, Auto Gnomes. There you go, Philip.
Ooh.
Auto Gnomes. Hadozi the GIF, or is it Hadozi? Or excuse me, is it the GIF or the GIF?
I don't know.
Plasmoids and the Thrycreen. It also contains a DM guide to wild spaces, everything you need. So this apparently was like, so as you could,
space clowns.
How do you know that? Oh, just from the pictures?
Just the next paragraph.
Oh, yeah. New monster types, including space clowns, vampirates, murder comets. I like murder comets. That sounds awesome. And solar and lunar dragons. And the Light of Xerxes is an adventure set. Okay, that makes sense. That's what I thought it was. So Spelljammer, someone's going to correct me because they know way more than I have. This is where I wish Beetle was in the chat and could give me all sorts of clarifications. But Spelljammer was a very popular setting in older versions of D&D, primarily because it allowed you to do kind of space games in using D&D. I want to say, off the top of my head, I want to say it came out in the 2nd edition, but it was also really popular in 3rd. We could find this out.
Right? If only there was this network of
interconnected
computers with all the knowledge ever.
So a Spelljammer was a type of magically powered vessel that could travel great distances, even to the sea of night. Each ship had a powerful magical helm or captain's chair that allowed a mage to pilot the ship. Some Spelljammers were capable of traveling to other planes of existence. Let's see, where's the... Maybe I can get the...
So they're the ancients. They had chairs.
Page is unresponsive. Aw, snap. All right, I need like an actual history, not the Spelljammer. Okay, here we go. Ha! Nailed it. Spelljammer is a campaign setting originally published for 2nd edition D&D. It was a fantastic, as opposed to scientific, outer space environment. So you're talking like fantasy. It's like science fantasy versus like hard science fiction.
Yeah.
So, originally published in November 1st, 1989. 32 years ago, originally.
Jeesh.
Yeah. So, if you've never heard of Spelljammer, but you like your science fiction, you're probably going to like that. If you're a fan of Spelljammer, then you probably were already aware that that was now a thing. So, there you go. That's the news. And that's the way the dice rolls.
And that's the way the news goes.
So I actually played games, Philip, that aren't that don't have the numbers 40 and the letter K in them.
What? Who
I
the
know,
hell
right?
are you? What are you doing, Chris?
Finally had a board game night. And it was just like, oh man, I'm gonna take a bunch of these games over and play them. That just like I just started scooping stuff off the unplayed shelf into my bag, but like nothing really meaty. It was more of like, what party games, what light games do I have, or games where it was an expansion that had come out. Because like when I was wanting to play, I was like, I don't really feel like teaching something new per se, or if I am gonna teach something new, I need it to be simple. So the very first game we played definitely falls into simple. It's a game made by Exploding Kittens, and it's called
All right, I'm already with it.
A game of cat and mouse.
Nice.
So this game, like, it doesn't play like it, but I just get the same feelings as Crossfire with this game.
Okay.
So I've showed it up on screen here. So the box itself is the game. So that's one cool thing about this, is that the box has a magnetic lid. You open it up, and the box unfolds into the board. And then there's a plastic mouse head or a plastic cat head that you put in the middle of the board. And then on either side, there's this paw that it's got a magnet in its base, and there's a magnet where it's supposed to go. But what that means is you can pull it back, and it'll throw a ball because the magnet will snap. So like if you pull it back, the magnet's strong enough to pull the paw back forward. So it throws the ball. And then you have these balls in its mouth, and then there's a ball in its nose. Yes, I know. Stop giving me that look.
I'm just saying. You're over here taking my job with the dirty jokes.
And doing it for you.
That's right.
So the object of the game is to get so you play in different rounds and up to 5 points. First to score 5 points wins. And it's just because there's yellow balls, there's a black ball, and there's 3 white balls, and you need to get all of one color on your opponent's side of the board. So there's only one black ball, but it's the hardest to get because there's not a lot of room. You have to hit it pretty close to it. And this thing, as I came to learn, is very unprecise, such it moves around a whole bunch. Or you could try and hit the balls in the mouth, or there's more of them, orange one or the yellow ones, but you could just sit there and just fling them as long as they make it through the hole, that giant gaping hole into the other side of the board, then you can get points there. So I played this over at Corey and Jimmy's house. It was pretty hilarious. Especially to watch. and especially it sucked at first because we'd be like 3, 2, 1, go, and then like immediately Jimmy nailed the black ball and got it on my side, and I was like, what the heck? And then like loaded up 3, 2, 1. Jimmy hits the black ball again. I'm like, come on! But he just had beginner's luck, I guess, because like he only got it. I ended up winning, but I think he only hit the black ball again like once, one other time. Because it's like, if you spend all your time trying to hit the black ball, meanwhile your opponent's shooting all these other ones on your side.
Yeah, so
you almost have to kind of like pick a set of balls and then try and work on those, and then maybe you get lucky and you miss and you hit the black one or something. But I mean, this game took like, even if first to 5, it still took us like 5 minutes, 10 minutes max to play.
I mean, that's good, yeah.
Yeah, so stupidly easy. And if you see on the image here, it's got these. It's got the eyes of the cat in the middle are the score trackers. When you
okay, I see that now. Yeah.
When you move your side, it moves the opponent's side as well. So like,
okay, so they can see what you have.
Yeah. So like on this one, this in this picture I have here, it says you 1, enemy 3. So when they get a point and they turn their side, it's marked you. When they turn it to 4, it's connected to this piece, so this piece turns to 4 also.
Right.
Like there's a rod in there so that they both move at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's pretty easy to keep track of. And there's even, it's funny, there's even like if you want to do a tournament, go to our website if there's more than 2 people. And we did it with 3, and it was just like, you 2 play. Okay, now play the third person. Who won? Like, yeah. Okay, maybe this makes more sense in a higher player count for this tournament.
Yeah, do an elimination bracket. Yeah.
Yeah, because at 3 it did not work very well. But while I was there, we also played. I had the new the latest role player expansion, which was Fiends and Familiars. So.
Ooh, okay.
It adds basically a new section to the bottom of the board. You get a familiar, who is another 3 die that basically you get to pull from. It also includes the split die, which for those that don't know, Role Player, it's a game where you're making RPG characters by rolling dice and trying to get their stats, and you're trying to achieve specific goals based on whatever cards you end up drawing. The split die are nice because one of the things you have to do is you have to get specific colors in specific spaces, but the split die count as both colors on the die. So like this counts as in the picture here, this counts as a red die and a black die.
Black and a green. Okay.
Yep,
yeah.
exactly. And then some of the other things it adds is there's like these feet. So if just a refresher, the game, each round starts off with you have these initiative trackers, 1 through whatever you're playing +1. So we have 1 through 4 because there was 3 of us playing. And depending on the number of players, there'll be some with these new initiative cards that they have in this version of the game. There'll be a couple of them will say Fiend on them, and you draw from this Fiend deck and play them on those initiatives. So. And they're usually the higher initiative order, which means that they're usually the higher value dice. Because when you put them on there, the dice get put in order from lowest to highest. So the ones that you want the most are the ones that have these fiends on them usually. And they're usually bad things, like you can't play this type of card, you can't do this type of thing, you can't buy, or cards you buy in the market cost double, or stuff like that. And the only way to get rid of them is through either spending XP or money. That you get XP from the second expansion or first expansion. This would be the second expansion. So it was great. I was worried it was going to make the game super long. That was my biggest fear because like the game already got longer with the first expansion because it tacked on this whole new end game, because the game's not over once everybody fills up their sheet. Then you have to go do the big bad.
Okay, yeah.
And then it's like, okay, now we're throwing this other thing. But they kind of they tweaked the rules a little bit to kind of speed it up a little. where normally it was you would draw 1 die per player plus 1 enough die, if you got 4 initiative cards, you would draw 4 die and put them out. With this expansion, you now draw 2 die per and put 2 die at a time on a initiative card. And so when you grab a card, you get both those die. Now you only get to trigger your abilities on one of the die, so you're not getting your abilities as much. But there's also a card that gets put halfway in the market deck, and when that card is hit, then you switch back to the normal rules of 1 die at a time. But it kind of speeds up that part of the game, especially since you've now got a new row that you got to fill in.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice. It still took forever for us to play because we were also having to relearn how to play.
Oh yeah, exactly like that would.
Yeah.
I 100% want to play role player as a session 0.
Well, they
And
got
then,
that now. They got the role player adventures where you now take these, you play these you make the characters and then take
Go
them on
do
an
something,
adventure.
yeah.
Yeah. I almost bought it at Gen Con, but I ended up buying the big box instead. I was very tempted, but it was one of those where it was a lot of money and I didn't know when it would get played.
Yeah.
So, but there's also been, there's been some light 40K work, of course. A lot of painting. I redid my knight because I just wasn't satisfied with the way he looked. He's actually now back here. If you could see him, actually, I don't know if you can see him because he's below the on-air light. But he's let's see, is he in the main shot? Nah, you can only see his missile pod.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So he's down there now. Let's see, put it back to here. So I wasn't happy. I don't think I brought up the picture that had. Okay, I didn't pull up the picture that had it side by side. Originally, this was white, and this red was a lot duller, and it was all the way across. And I just wasn't happy with the way it looked, and the white was very chalky, and it looked very weird when I put the non-oil shader on it. So I was like, screw it, I'm gonna redo this. And I went for a deeper red and kind of did this cross hatching pattern that I'd seen on some other versions of the knight for its house. That was a pain in the butt because that was a lot of painter's tape involved.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
But I'm doing it after the fact. Ideally, you would have done this before I put all these bars and attachments on.
Right.
So that you have a nice even surface. I'm doing it after the fact where there's ridges and stuff now. So I would spray it and then go in after the fact and kind of have to tidy up the lines a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's most of what I've been up to. Working on some new stuff, but a whole nother time and place for that. So let's talk Patreon. You can talk Patreon while I pull up the Reddit page with the stuff.
Oh, with all the stuff. That's right. That's right. We are over on Patreon. We're asking for your support. Patreon.com/boards and swords. Also the reverse, boardsandswords.com/Patreon. We got that all worked out. You can get to us. It's gonna have bonus bits after we're done broadcasting our lovely faces and voices all over the internet. We sit and we just talk trash about whatever, and you guys get to hear us. We talk about. So I'm just gonna. We got Picard in the Halo series queued up in bonus episode topics. Good stuff there. Also, we just talk about our weeks, talk about our goals and hopes and dreams. No, we don't really do that.
Well,
much,
last week it actually just released yesterday, but we had probably our longest bonus bits. It was over an hour because it was Philip describing his Vegas vacation.
Woo! Let me tell you, Vegas was awesome, guys.
Then you got 10 minutes at the end of me ranting about the college experience.
Oh, see, yeah. You get the most random stuff.
Yeah.
After the most random stuff of board gaming.
Yeah.
It's good times. And
Yeah.
then in the higher tiers, if you hate love the dad jokes, just what's the word I'm looking for? You subscribe at one of the higher tiers. That's the word subscribe. You subscribe at one of the higher tiers. You give Chris a list of your favorite board games. Oh, he's gonna dad joke the hell out of him. It's
Yep.
great.
And I'm actually fulfilling on some of those. I've been queuing up some people because I've been behind. COVID depression. It happens to all of us. Things get missed.
They do get missed.
So,
but that's
we don't-
boardsandswords.com/Patreon.
Yeah, or patreon.com/boardsandswords. Both work.
Both work.
Hey, but you know what? We don't care about like we appreciate those that do the higher tier, but we love all of our patrons exclusively, and that's why you just have to be $1 a month to get that love. In fact, Philip, you remember how I said I've had for a while? I was like, we should have a name for like our fans.
Okay.
All
right. What are they?
I found it. They're dirtbags.
Like
it was easy.
It was. It's so easy.
In fact, if you look on the Discord I was talking about, the role for if you're a patron says dirtbag, and then I put patron in parentheses. But it works.
I don't know how to look at that.
Huh?
I don't know how to look at that.
If you just click on someone's username, you see all the roles that they have.
Oh, Renshaw, role, host.
Yes, you have to click on someone's orange name.
Phoenix, dirtbag.
Yeah, there you go.
Philip, jackwagon.
Yeah. I just need to make your own role now and then call it jackwagon. No, I'll just call it Chief Dirtbag.
Chief Dirt. Yeah, I'm the.
Or what is it in military terms? Or your Dirtbag 1?
Oh, DB1. There we go. Yeah.
Or Dirtbag Actual.
Yes, that's my. This is Dirtbag Actual. Sierra 19er.
Yeah. I was like, it fits. It's gender neutral. It describes everything perfectly.
And it is said with love.
Yeah. All right, with that. So we were coming up with basically yesterday I was trying to think of what we needed to talk about on the show. And I realized we are at this point, I don't want to say a post-COVID or an emerging COVID environment, because that's not true. And especially in different parts of the world, it's happening at various different things. I will say we are at a phase where a lot more people are returning to their in-person gaming. And so we've spent the past 2 years, everybody's been doing these kind of we've been finding out different things. We've been testing different platforms, Tabletop Simulator, Tabletopia, there's Board Game Arena. There's all these different things. There's even with cons, you got Gen Con online, that sort of thing. And I wanted to know, 2 years in now, what do we want to stay? Like what habits, what things that have been put in place to support gaming in a COVID environment do we want to stick around? Like what place does digital gaming have in a normal gaming world? Now, of course, I went to Reddit with this, and of course, there was always the, I don't want any digital games in my board gaming, and digital games will never replace being around the actual table with my friends. I'm like, thank you for not participating in the conversation at all.
And then there's me, who I want every game to be digital, but I want them like the old Pac-Man tables in the Pizza Huts.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not talking like, oh, we're going to give up our game night for Tabletop Simulator night. That's like, no. That's obviously, most of us would prefer, if it's the opportunity, you're going to game in person versus online.
I mean, no one has to know I'm not wearing pants.
Okay, most people aside from Philip. But there are some circumstances where it's helpful. Like a lot of people have been like, well, I've reconnected with friends that live on other side of the country and I can't play physical board games with them. But we've started, I think somewhere on here was like, I've started a weekly tabletop simulator night with some far off buddies that started because of the pandemic. Will probably remain a fixture long after. Like, that's not something that was going to happen in a non, pre 2 years ago. That kind of thing was not gonna. It could have, but but not as many people knew about it. Not as many people had tabletop simulator or aware of it. But that's the kind of trends I'm curious about and wanted to see, kind of going forward.
Where is that? Can you link that?
Oh, I was literally just thinking, oh, I did not put this in the chat. There, I put it in the show notes.
Right.
Hey, Rusted Beetle's here.
Beetle, finally, bro.
I know we missed you because we were talking about Spelljammer and having to do our own research onto Spelljammer since Philip had no idea what that was. And I only had really heard of the name.
But I know who Boo is.
Minkskin Boo? Was that?
Minkskin Boo. Yep.
Yeah. So, and this is where, and some of this is where.
Oh, the first comment, and he's getting an upvote from me.
Yeah.
You know what's great about digital board games?
Have you noticed how many upvotes it has?
Yeah, it's now got 23. Like that's.
Rusted Beetle says D&D in space. Honestly, looking at some of this stuff, one place I want to see this kind of digital gaming is more with companies than with actual people. Like, for instance, almost every Kickstarter in the past year has had a tabletop simulator version that, or like most of the successful ones, where it's like, hey, previously it would be like, come to our convention and you can try out this game. Whereas this is like, look, right now, or it was print and plays. A lot of them would be like, you can print and play this game and try it now. This is like, you can go play this right now. Click this link. You can play the game now. Like, don't have to wait for it to arrive. You can play this with your friends without the printing and cutting stuff out right here. You got to figure it out because, there's the rule book. And that was even a comment I mentioned on somebody. It was like, maybe we'll get better rule books because more people will be having to use them to try out a Kickstarter,
Oh, there we go. Auto shuffle the deck.
Yeah. So it is helpful. I mean, there's nothing like the good feel of a game, but these are the same people that have, Mansions of Madness. I don't want iPads in my board games. The ones that are poo-pooing it.
Get the hell out.
Another thing.
Love digital stuff in board games.
I know, but honestly, I've mentioned it probably several times before, but the cons doing more digital stuff is something I want to see continue, because not everybody can afford to go to Gen Con, especially outside of the U.S. Like, once you talk about outside of the U.S., it becomes next to impossible for anybody. I don't know how people from overseas do it.
Our first con, that dude came from Ireland.
Yeah,
like
there was
power to you, buddy.
The first Gen Con online, the first one they had in 2020, the online one. I was in a couple of games with people that were from, I think they were from England, and they were like, "This is great because we've never been to a Gen Con because it's just it's not affordable for us." Or not even take aside the money time. If you're a parent, you just don't have enough leave or ability to have someone watching kids for that whole time, but you can carve out 4 hours for a game session.
Yep.
Renegade still does this because they've got their Renegade cons, and I know at least the first one that I went to, you could sign up on their website and play in some of their RPGs. So it's like that was how I got to test out Kids on Bikes, They're kind of like Stranger Things sort of RPG.
Okay,
Which I
gotcha.
own but have never played. But I got to play it there because it was just like, and I was playing with my friends here locally. Like I was playing with Heather and Mike, but we all signed up for the same Kids on Bikes game, and because it's like we've been interested in this, but it's always better to play a game if you're going to run a game to play it first. And so we were like, well, we'll sign up for this. And, you know, it was only like $15 or something to get a ticket or to get like the Renegade Con ticket or whatever. But Renegade's still been doing those events. I don't know if they've been doing, I've been hoping they've been doing the RPGs sign up stuff that they run through their Discords.
The Beetle has the right attitude. That's perfect problem solved. I dig it. I'm 100% there, man.
Well, so Spelljammer. First of all, he says Spelljammer was made to bridge the different D&D worlds. Yeah, we mentioned the traveling different planes. He says,
Which that would be. I mean, that's kind of cool too. But yeah, like see, take the kids with you, and pawn them off to a booth, and then
free
maybe
labor.
you get a free game out of it.
Free labor.
Exactly. See, there you go.
Buy
Especially like the Exploding Kittens booth. You know how much fun kids would have with that?
Sell
like,
the kids, go to the con, buy new kids when you get home.
Exactly. Get the deluxe collector's edition.
I hear you have to kickstart that, and they fulfill in 9 months.
What? No, it's Etsy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not on Kickstarter. It's on Etsy.
Oh, okay. I don't know. You might consider that an Indiegogo.
Oh.
All right. What else did I see here? A lot of people talking about distance being the biggest advantage for digital gaming continuing. The emphasis of games on BGA. This is something I haven't. A lot of people have talked about BGA, Board Game Arena. We've talked about it on the show where it got bought by Asmodee. But they do a lot of good turn-based games where it's not like Tabletop Simulator where it's a free environment. It is like structured and coded so that like the game plays kind of like an app. You can't just do whatever. But it's also got asymmetric play, so you can go start a game and then it'll just send you an alert when it's your turn to do something.
Okay, yeah.
But the cool thing is Asmodee now owns them, so they've been publishing a lot of their stuff. Like I think Pandemic's now available on it. But recently, I think within the past month or two, Blood Rage is now available on BGA.
Ooh.
Which means it's probably a lot better version than their stupid app.
And the Steam version
Stupid Steam version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't the biggest problem that just kept crashing?
Yeah, it was like you couldn't click on stuff when it was your turn. When we were playing it, we played that multiplayer game, and it was like I can't click on the thing to like accept my turn.
Yeah.
I can play so many more games in a few minutes at a time than I ever could if I had to do it in real time. Additionally, I can take as long as I want to analyze a move. So you don't have to worry about that thing. The janky interface of some Sims is what I have a problem with. That used to be a bigger deal, especially with some of those websites. Like there's that Bois de Jeu. It's some French website, and there's Yukata, I think was another website that did this. I feel like BGA's done a better job with the interface, and that's why it's gotten really popular, especially, with the whole getting bought by Asmodee, because it was the BGA kind of got propelled into outer space with the whole pandemic thing.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, what's this? I expect to see a lot more companion apps and an explosion in board game consoles. Imagine a decent-sized tablet that played tabletop simulator versions of games, of board games, no setup, rules already programmed in, math taken care of, literally just sit down and play. With the right graphics packages, your entire board game collection could be housed in single book-sized package. I don't know about that. Because
Well, I mean, so not like I feel like it would have to be like the old Pac-Man tables. Like it'd have to
Yeah.
be something large, not large, but legit computer sized.
Yeah. See, this is what I was talking about. People are like, board games just feel like video games to me.
Okay. Yeah, like I'm
Most board games make for great
I'm on
apps.
it.
I'm not sure I'd ever play Root in person.
right. Like I played it on the app. Played it with you, and it was weird, but I was okay playing it.
Yeah. The only I know you didn't like the asymmetric piece of that where
Yeah, and
where
I
like
feel,
not
what's-
everybody's doing the same thing, but what
Mhm.
you would really enjoy is when you get to like 4 players in that game and you have the negotiating. And it's the, hey, we need to tag up and take out these cats because otherwise they're going to mow through us. And, both of us are in a better place to take on them kind of thing. Or you've got the vagabond who's just like, I'm just here to sell stuff and make friends with everybody. Who wants some items? Don't mind me and my quests. I'm just getting points down here for no reason. I'm just a single little meeple. What can I do? Yeah, same for RPG sites. We picked up Roll20 for 2 campaigns. It was easy to play once you got used to the AI. I imagine RPGs is going to be that's a place where digital's going to definitely cling on for the you could, because like there's a lot of people that like to play like I would like to play games with some friends back in North Carolina. I'm not going to go down there, and it's definitely easier to play an RPG probably with them than to everybody sit down and play a board game, because it's like everybody's got their favorite board game, but it's like, we all know D&D. We remember how much fun D&D was. Let's play some D&D.
Exactly.
Plus, there's the time aspect where it's like I got a busy day. I'm just running around. I'm just gonna hop on to this call and do an RPG. That's got to be how, like, I see people where they're doing like they're playing like 3 or 4 games a week, and I'm like, that's got to be, that can't be in person.
Yeah.
Because like
Chris, I think we can accommodate Rusty Beetle. What do you think? We just 3, 2, 1.
I mean, it's recorded. I could just like I'll stop the stream and then just play it in I'll play it in the window on here on stream.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. What was that? Never-Ending Story.
Yeah.
The book Never-Ending Story. Yeah. Where she read the history of the world and then kept reading up to now.
It's like Spaceballs.
It's Spaceballs. Yeah. It's like, what's happening now? Now? It's now. When will then be now?
Soon. By the way, did you hear dragons are coming to WoW?
I saw, like, I'm like, I don't want to spend money, but I want to do that so bad. It sounds so cool.
I think at this point it'll be a. I know we're breaking the trend here, but that might be I wait until like the next expansion to where everything's been released, or towards the end of the expansion where everything's been released, all the patches. I don't have to wait for the next piece of the story. I don't know. We'll see. Something it'll probably pull me back in before then.
It's like the thought of those games, like you can turn into a dragon or you can be a human. Like,
yeah,
that's fucking cool.
Well, because that's how dragons work in WoW, is they have human forms and then they have. I mean, it's common in many fantasy things, but
yeah.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Just by Skyrim for the 12th time, or the first, for me. somebody mentioned talking about what's great about digital board games, 0 setup time. Someone's like, there's the obligatory 45 minutes of troubleshooting why people's microphones or cameras aren't working properly. That just sounds like you got that just sounds like you got old people in your call. Because
that needs.
We never have that problem.
That just the only and I don't know if you're experiencing on your end.
The only
but
time
I'm experiencing on my
ahead.
end every once in a while of you'll stutter in and out.
Oh yeah.
But that's just internet quality.
Yeah.
Which that's a thing that we discovered in like when everything went remote.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we've been neglecting our
infrastructure.
And it sucks.
Yeah. Like the only time we've really had problems in like digital game is like when we're playing something that's like Jackbox where we have to screen share. And then it's like, oh, we're not hearing the sound because it's not being piped through your computer and blah, blah, blah. That's where things have gotten technical, but never somebody's like microphone. It's usually like, hey, can you hear me? All right, they're not responding. Oh, Discord's on the wrong microphone.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Like that was 5 minutes.
Or I think I had an issue once where Discord wasn't picking up this mic. It was picking up the camera mic. And then no, stop it.
Beetle, that is a completely separate thing I'm talking about here. He says, you say you never had to open the closet door to fix the audio. That is for streaming. Philip has heard me just fine most of the time.
Except that's all right, Beetle, you missed it. I was I forgot that Chris gave me full control of that computer.
Yeah, the only time is when I forgot to plug in the computer over there, and that's like, I don't hear Philip. I hear him on the TV, but I don't hear him in my headphones.
I mean, sometimes it's good not to hear me.
I can mute you. Just as simple as...
It's as simple as me going, boop. I have my own mute button.
Well, I can server mute you. You're Time out, Philip.
If everyone could stand by for the next 12 minutes, I'm going to bust in Chris's door.
I'm just sitting here.
Here's Philip.
I'm just sitting here streaming, and like that's like the doorbell rings, and you just see his fist come out of nowhere. It's just like... You just sit down and be like, what's up? It's Philip time. I really do need to play more. I do need to try some more RPGs. I think the problem is like I keep telling people keep asking me, and I'm like, the problem is for our local group is nobody wants to run one. I have a feeling like if somebody was like, I want to play this game, everyone would be like, cool, let's do it. But no one's wanting to do that.
Our couple forever DMs have gotten burnt out.
Yeah. So that's why I was talking to Heather and Mike, because that's who I'm going to Gen Con with this year. And we're just like trying to figure out what, Heather was asking me what RPGs I'm wanting to play. And I'm like, I don't know. I'd have to like see the list and look, but probably at least like Vampire, since I've been dipping my toes into that water. And by the time Gen Con rolls around, there'll be that Hunter the Reckoning, which is same world, but you're actually hunters hunting down this, or you're humans hunting down the supernatural instead of the supernatural people. So,
all right, yeah.
But like I got that subscription to Roll. There's that cool new website Roll, where it kind of incorporates. We used it once or twice here on the podcast, where you can do roll different. Like they have the dice inbound, but it reminded me of Zoom and Roll20 put together. It's like if someone took Zoom and Roll20 and mashed them together, but you kind of eliminated the board aspects of Roll20.
I'm just remembering there's a College Humor. When Brennan always does he's like the CEO of the different companies.
Yeah,
he's like.
Oh, was there a Zoom
the CEO
one?
of Skype.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's like it was when the name of your product becomes a verb. That's when you know you've made it.
That was all Skype's fault.
It was all Skype's fault. They just completely.
They were like, "We've got this product, and we're gonna take a dump on it."
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's it for this week's episode. Any closing thoughts you got, Philip, Looking in the future, digital gaming.
Digital game.
I keep saying we need to play some apps, but what it may need, I think we may need to look into BGA some more, because then you got the asymmetric, because you got your working times, I got my working times. We both got poo breaks.
We could get through an entire board game. It would just be like, hey, it's your turn. Cool, let me do this.
We just need Power Rangers to get on BGA.
Yeah, oh my god. So anybody can we anybody who's anybody, can we shove this topic in Renegade's face? Please.
Oh god.
You're already getting all my money. I did empty my cart of all that pre-order stuff because I'm gonna wait for the next Kickstarter that they're gonna have, and they always include it's like, oh hey, just add this to your Kickstarter and we'll just charge you another $5 for shipping.
Oh yeah, so it's all together.
Yeah, that way.
Oh man, that's the one thing I can't. Beetle mentions playing some Patrick. The problem is Beetle's like always got his phone on him and like always like doing stuff. So whenever I send a play, it immediately comes back and is like, it's your turn, and I can't. And it bothers me that the notification's just sitting there waiting. So it gets kind of. It's almost like stressful because it's like, all right, now I can focus. Bing! Damn it! Stop playing.
Get a hobby.
Stop playing so quickly. This was supposed to be a week long. We finished it in an hour.
Oh. Doesn't Risk have an app?
Probably.
Yeah.
Who wants to play Risk though?
Let's get like a 10-man Risk.
Oh my god. Diplomacy.
Yes. Ascendancy.
Oh god.
Star Trek Ascendancy. It would need to have. It would need to allow like simultaneous play until your first contact with another race, and then it can switch to asymmetric.
No, because that would like happen super fast.
Oh yeah, it would. Well, okay.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that on the table just because you know when it's going to happen. But it's like, all right, everyone take your turns. Go.
Hey, I got a trophy. Living Dead. We thought we'd lost you. Welcome back to BGA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I was trying to see how easy it was to get a list of games. So, here I can show screen on here. Campaign from North Africa every time. There you go. Azul, Six Nymph, which is like a trick-taking kind of game. Yeah. Carcassonne, Splendor. You've played Splendor, right?
I have. Splendor's fun.
Seven Wonders Duel, Seasons. Oh, this is their selection for me. Let's go popular now. Space. I've played that. Yahtzee. I wonder how that game works. What's this game? Never played that game. You got like
Yahtzee more of a single-player game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably like a who can get the highest score kind of thing.
Oh,
Lost Ruins of Arnak, that was a popular game. I think that was a popular 2020 game. Great Western Trail.
Seven Wonders, King of Tokyo.
You could play Seven Wonders with, or not Seven, Great Western Trail with Colin.
Yeah.
I bet they would enjoy that. Terra Mystica. Welcome to. You played that.
Yep. Oh, that's good. I like that one.
Race for the Galaxy, Potion Explosion, Blood Rage. I think the star means you have to be you have to pay for their premiere to like start a game. I don't think everybody has to have the game, but I think you do to start it. I think I've played Isle of Cats on BGA. I think that's where I learned how to play it, was on BGA. Viticulture. We were talking about Viticulture's on there. The Crew, Sushi Go, Railroad. Oh, I've played
Alhambra. Is that the carpets?
No, that is Marrakesh.
Marrakesh, that's the carpets. Yeah.
Yes. Tichu, the Century
Railroad
games, Railroad Inc. I played Railroad Inc. on there. I definitely remember playing that on there. Or no, that actually might have been Tabletopia I played that on. Anyways, Downforce is fun. I do love some Downforce.
Oh, Restoration. They pulled the shipping charge for what was that game?
The Thunder Road Vendetta.
Yes, Thunder Road. Yeah, they pulled the shipping charge this week.
Nice. Oh, Marrakesh is on here.
Oh, yeah, all right.
There you go. You and Mike can play that.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
I saw it play, but that was about it.
Like,
Rusty was
hey,
like,
let me
I have
just-
a few of these on Steam. Skull.
I do like because it's got a bit of a I like games that had a bit of a dirtbag element to them.
Yeah.
He's like, oh hey Mike, you got this nice little connected. No,
Skull is great because it's basically just a coaster game. Like you could get like 18 coasters and just draw some on the back of a couple of them, and you can play Skull.
nice.
It's Nidavellir. I heard that was good. And I remember Dice Hospital. I remember Calvin talked up Dice Hospital last time he was on the show, years ago.
Wait, Nidavellir? That's
Yes.
the dwarfs. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot, and I don't even think this is everything. This is just the popular.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that's not even everything. Recommended in turn-based. So yeah, I will probably have to be doing that. But that's, like I said, that's a good place to end the show. Philip, why don't you roll that beautiful bean footage?
That has been our show tonight, everybody. We want to thank Beetle for finally showing up and giving us someone to talk to. We want to thank anyone else who may have been lurking. I saw you there. Okay, I saw the viewer counter go up by 1 minute. You were there. I saw you. If you like what we're doing, you gotta head over to patreon.com/boardsandSwords. Also, just head over to boardsandSwords.com. It's got the calendar for when we broadcast live. It's got the links to all the stuff we've done in the past. You can check out how cringy we've been and how much we've matured over the years. You know, we've gotten better on our podcasting skills, I think. What do you think, Chris?
I don't know. It's a toss-up.
If Chloe was here, she would just say we're cringe all the time.
Yeah. We like comments and feedback. Feedback at boardsandswords.com. We're also on social media at Boards and Swords on Twitter, at Boards and Swords Chris on Instagram, and Facebook.com/BoardsandSwordsPod. Yeah, I know Philip's audio is lower than the music. So, anyways, thank you for listening. Boardsandswords.com/Discord. You need to go join the community there. Maybe I'll start a channel for people looking for games. We'll do some digital games that way. But in the meantime, check out patreon.com/boardsandswords to help support the show. 2 weeks, we'll be back. Another show. In the meantime, remember that every gamer has a story. And it's your turn, Phil. Yeah, the problem is not Philip's voice is too low. The problem is that the music is too high.
See, I can't control that from my
Yeah.
soundboard. Although I did notice that the little black 9 was not on the U on my soundboard.
I mean, technically,
Oh,
you could just like lower the
I
volume.
could
You could
I
lower
could
the,
bump it up to 10.
but you wouldn't know. That's the problem.
That's right.
So.
I sound perfect in my headphones. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, what did you say at the end there? Because all I saw through Facebook's subtitles was "Church Hurt Philip."
Oh, I said every gamer has a story, and it's your turn, Philip. Because like,
Oh, and it's my turn, Philip. Okay, it said "Church Hurt." And I was
church,
like, what?
church hurt. My church hurts. All right. Good night, everybody.